Hey guys, this is your warning. We do post up spoilers. At times we're relatively offensive. We use vulgar language. So if you think that any of those are gonna offend you in any way, shape, or form, take your step back right now. Cause buddy, this is not the place for you. Anywho, have fun listening to us, and yeah, this has been your final warning.
Welcome to another unplanned and unscripted edition of Cinematic Anarchy. I'm Chris.
And I'm Zeph.
And we're here to discuss a film that we just decided to watch on the fly today. A little stone cold Steve Austin flick by the name of Recoil. That is Stone Cold Steve Austin. It also stars Danny Trejo, Serinda Swan, and Lachlan Monroe. And of course there's also another whole cast of bit and piece characters here and there. People you'll recognize from many other films. Especially, I believe it's
Hector.
Noel.
Hector!
I can't even spell his name. Noel. I'm just going to give him Noel.
Guglemy?
Huh?
Guglemy?
Guglemy? Guglemy? Rex? We'll just call him Rex, because I'm butchering the last name.
Completely. But it's alright.
Hey, call us and tell us what your last name is. How do we pronounce that? I'll look up an interview, maybe.
They have the thing about him that he plays Hector in every single movie that he's in, and I believed it. But he doesn't.
Oh, you believed it for about 5 seconds, then I did the research, and no.
Hector.
No.
Hector.
No Hector.
Hector.
No, he definitely was not Hector in this film, anyway. He was Rex, which didn't really fit, but whatever. That's fine.
Rex the rapist. When you're writing a movie like this, you gotta Rex. What's Rex's little quirk? He's a rapist.
Was he in this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. He was saying he had a thing for girls, and he was.
Yeah, he was a rapist, and like Danny Trejo at one point he says he's like, my brother's sick, and I should have never left him alone. I'm supposed to have somebody watch him all the time. You know what I mean? So like it's something he even knew that he was apt to do. That's why he always sent somebody with him. Like, go keep an eye on him.
It's like, we did all this stuff. We didn't let him see this part of the script. This is what you're going to do. You're going to be this big, badass thug here. And then once you're dead and you're not in the movie anymore, we're going to rewrite the script. And hey, guess what? By the way, just wanted to let you know, you're a rapist.
You're a rapist in the end.
Your guy at the end, yeah, he's a rapist.
No, because even when he was alive, he's like, I was acquitted. I was acquitted.
All right, so this movie
is
about... basically a vigilante cop who goes after the biker gang that murdered his family, executed his family.
Yeah. And he was supposed to die with them as well.
He should have died. He got shot a few times, and then they left him there for dead, but obviously, like any good vengeance movie is, they think he's dead, and he comes back for vengeance.
Danny Trejo plays Drake, who's just the strongest man in the world, apparently. Second to Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And you watch him in that one scene right after Rex dies, and the gang is gathered around him, all the women and the men in the gang, and you notice that Danny is shorter than everyone. He is the shortest person in the entire group.
But the most feared.
Right. Like, they immediately, like, beginning of the movie, they pit him against that one guy in the little octagon, the electrified octagon.
Who was clearly a gentle giant.
It's like, you got one chance to wipe your debt clean, go one round with me. And,
he kicks his fucking ass.
Just laid him the fuck out. I mean, threw him against the electrified fence and...
A few times.
No, I didn't really throw him, actually. I think he literally just punched him into the electrified fence. Which is why I felt as badly as I did about the end end fight sequence between him and
him
and Austin.
It was their own little octagon, though.
Yeah, I mean there was equal opportunity badassery there. You know,
Right.
I'm a badass who knocks the shit out of all your guys. You're a badass who knocks the shit out of all the little guys and the big guys.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, we're just gonna tape fists and see who's the last one standing.
Which I appreciated that. It's like, that was his equal opportunity for him. It's like, equal opportunity, you and me, punch for punch. Last man standing is the last man standing.
Right.
And instead of grabbing his machete.
Well, he did that after he fended him off. It wasn't the machete. Yeah, that was a joke. You could tell that was a joke. He picks up the machete, goes, never mind, picks up the sickle instead, and goes after him. And after Austin playing Ryan Varrett in the movie, he disarms the guy, takes the sickle, tosses it aside, and that's when he decides to tape their fists together.
It was forearm to forearm.
Yeah, basically forearm to forearm. He grabs his forearm. Danny didn't have a choice but to grab his forearm, and he duct taped them together, and they just punch for punch.
And I'm sorry, I'm 5 times your size.
And each of them got, if I'm not mistaken, each of them just got, was it their left fist? Or was it the right fist?
I believe it was left. I believe they went to the left. Well, the right fists were taped.
Right.
And you took your
so the right ones were taped.
And I suppose if you're fighting against them...
So you get your bitch hand, kind of.
Imagine he's a lefty and he's just fucking on like,
Right, I'm a southpaw anyway, so yeah, you're screwed here. Your weakest throw is my strongest here.
Right. And that's how you win a fight, by duct taping their strong hand to your weak hand.
I mean, I don't even know there's a lot to say about this movie. There were some decent fight sequences.
The beginning fight sequence, well, when it first starts off, there's a guy and he's running through the woods, and he seems a little psychopathic.
Right. And he's running through the woods with
an AR-15 or some sort of high-powered military rifle.
Right. He looked like he was off-duty SWAT.
Yeah, but he's shooting
the rifle he was carrying.
He's shooting a bunny, and they're like, "Hey, it's late."
Not shooting a bunny. Tried to shoot a bunny. Missed with like 30 shots.
Yeah, and then he's like, "I'm not leaving until I kill something." Got like super dark with it, and then he ended up being the one who was killed by the strongest chokehold in the world.
Right, it was a choke slam. It was literally a choke slam off a cliff.
Yeah,
So it's like, I want you to be thinking of her when you die. Do you remember her? Yeah. Okay. Well, that was stupid.
Yeah, I do remember.
No, just stand there and don't remember her. Right. I have no idea what you're talking about, because otherwise, you heard what he said. I want you to remember her before you die.
Prolong your life as long as possible.
Play fucking Alzheimer's. I've got early onset Alzheimer's. I'm sorry, a little bit of dementia. I don't know what you're talking about.
Did I?
Took a few too many bump stocks to the head.
But I feel like he would have tortured it out of him at some point. I mean, they said it's like he had like vice grips around his throat. So like he clearly had a strong grip around it.
He was choking. Yeah, he crushed his larynx. So it was either he was going to remember him or he was going to die trying. Mm-hmm. So you die if you do, and you die if you don't.
Yeah, I guess get it off your chest. Oh shit! Yeah, no, I remember her. Fuck. Which he does throw that out there. He's like, "Fuck, I remember her."
Yeah, that's
like shit. Now it's my past.
Last
coming
2
back
seconds of your life. Yep, you're dead. Sorry. And they're the constant flashbacks in the movie of the execution. Basically, 4 guys in clown masks. Turns out Danny Trejo is at the back,
the badass one.
Well, he was not the badass one. So the first 3 guys that came in. Mm-hmm. They took out the party, and then Danny popped off a couple of shots. Yeah, but he was in the back until everybody else had cleared the party. And then he comes striding up between the 3 of them and decides, well,
I'm going to take my mask off for some reason.
I'm going to take a few parting shots just for the hell of it, and then take my mask off out of stupidity. I never thought I'd see you again. Well,
Turns out.
Do you think that he would have had the will to live if Danny hadn't taken off his mask?
Probably so go Steve Austin.
Well, I mean, having that focus, it's like, I know exactly who you are.
Which they don't really play it that way at the beginning.
No. They play it like it's Rex that he was after.
Whom at this point he's just going after people who slide through the system. People who should be in jail but aren't. So he takes it into his own hands. It's kind of like the Equalizer. I was saying the white Equalizer, and then Chris informed me that there's already a white Equalizer.
Well, I think you're only used to the Denzel Equalizer.
But then, it's kind of like on its own line of Punisher as well.
Which was actually in part filmed right down the street here. It was filmed at the old Lowe's building over on Computer Drive here in Haverhill. That whole, I want to say, the whole hardware store.
Yes, is
all that was there. No longer a Lowe's anymore. It was closed down before they started filming, and it remained closed after. So
I mean, get paid for the building for whatever you can,
Well, it was the property owners that remained vacant for so long. I mean, do something with it.
Yeah.
If you're going to rent it out to people to film movies in it, all the more power to you.
Let me make a movie in there.
I'm guessing the money that they made off of that, they probably didn't have to do anything with it for a while. Yeah, I mean, we don't have to be pressured. We can up the rent there and just find somebody that'll pay for it.
They have some sort of craft store?
No, it's not a craft store. It's Southwick. They make suits. So it's a suit tailoring place, but it's like a factory for suits.
I see.
That being beside the point, and that being probably the most boring point that we've made during this entire 10 minutes that we've been yammering on about this movie. I'm trying to find good things to say about it. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. It was definitely a low boil movie. The fight scenes were well worth watching.
It was slow though.
It was slow.
You don't find that it's like they're like, all right, these masked guy Danny Trejo has to be one of them, and you threw that in all the way at the end. They were like, how are we going to connect all these random scenes together?
And I don't know. I mean, I appreciated Lachlan Monroe's character there, but I felt like having that whole thing with the FBI was almost pointless all the way through. I get why the son of the sheriff was there. Yeah. I get his role there. But it just felt like...
He did nothing. What role?
I like Lachlan Monroe. I like him as an actor. He's done some good things. He's done some bad things. But I feel his FBI agent role in there was just thrown in there for good measure. The entire movie could have played without him. They could have wiped his entire role clean and the movie would have been the exact same thing.
Yeah. Now he's just moving on to the next city to find a new bad guy.
Because they made this big deal at the end about the boat. The boat being hell. Right? And that you would need a virtual army to get in there. And so the sheriff's son, who's fed up with his dad being basically on the take the entire movie, he chose to protect the town his own way by basically, taking bribes, looking the other way, and making sure that the townspeople didn't get hurt for him interfering.
Yeah, if they don't get any problems, if nobody will get hurt if he doesn't interfere.
And you want to point this way.
I'm good. They can still pick on what I'm saying.
Well, you were talking to the window over there, and it's all right.
Scratching the chair over here.
Well, you can pick the varnish off the chair all you want, but
it just comes.
The mic's still going to be over here.
So essentially, though, this particular movie very slow,
right?
And
it was a slow roll up until the final scene.
Even then, it's like
they made this whole big deal about an army and the state troopers coming, and that's what I was trying to get at. And the son basically taking up the mantle of the father, he got his promotion because what did Dad do?
Committed suicide.
Capped himself. So he finds his dad dead. Not a single bit of remorse from this kid, by the way.
Well, at this point, he doesn't respect his father.
Even still, even if you don't respect dear old Dad, there was literally no middle scene there. It was literally he sees his dad dead, looks down at him, and then the next scene is the FBI agent and the sheriff's son gearing up for war.
They were super unneeded.
No, and there was nobody needed there because Austin just went through the entire boat himself, So Varric took out the entire boat, the guard, and then eventually took out
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo, yes.
He just...
Drake. Sorry, I can't say Drake without thinking about, Drake. Mm-hmm. And you put Drake and Danny Trejo right next to each other night and day. But
they're spelled differently.
In all honesty, replace Drake with Danny Trejo, replace Danny Trejo with Drake would have been a funnier movie. Just because.
I wouldn't have liked that movie. Not as much. It's Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo was a badass in the movie. He played a badass to Stone Cold's
giant fucking I'm gonna punch through this wall type deal.
I didn't get a lot of emotion out of Austin in the movie.
He had emotions. He's just a killer now.
He played like an old school Clint Eastwood almost. Just not a whole lot of emotion. There was really not a whole lot to play off, and the biggest bit of emotion that you got in the entire movie, even when he was talking about his own family getting executed,
drinking the wine. Stuff gets me emotional.
No. The biggest bit of emotion you got out of him when he's tied to the chair, and they're about to take Darcy away, and he's like, "You fucking touch her, and I'll kill you."
Yeah.
Don't you fucking lay a hand on her.
I want you guys to know you're gonna die. You guys zip tied me to this chair. That's not very effective. You duct taped a poor little girl to a chair, and she's perfectly fine.
Well, yeah, that's what I didn't like. I didn't like that part because Stone Cold, he just busts out of his zip ties, and he goes at this dude, takes him out, and then he finds Darcy in the closet, duct taped to a chair. And I feel personally, as easy as he ripped that duct tape off of her, right?
He would have not.
She could have gotten out of that herself.
Yeah, and he would have not been able to get out of real duct tape. A couple of layers of duct tape. I'm sorry, he would have been ripping through that.
No, he would have needed a knife to at least cut it before he could rip it off. But no, you just rip the whole thing off.
It's like they reused that duct tape like 50 times on her. We're in a recession, man. This duct tape is fucking expensive.
And we ran out of zip ties. So we're going to have to use the duct tape. Nah, fuck. She's going to escape, Well, it's fine.
Apparently selling drugs doesn't make that much money.
But, well, yeah, I mean, you'd think you'd need the duct tape to keep the...
Something.
I don't know.
The boxes of drugs.
See, this is what I'm saying. We watched this movie all the way through, and I'm laughing about it, but I'm trying hard to think of things that were worthwhile. I'm not...
One of the things that got me was towards the end of the movie when the FBI agent who's been searching him over the course of, many different states, and he's just like, well, we got nothing on you. What about all the other cities? But what really gets me is like, if you keep doing this, like, someone's bound to get hurt, like Darcy. But what about that? There's a character, he's the local mechanic, that they string up because he helps them.
Right.
Like, they just hang him on his truck, essentially. Kill him, torture him, and hang him out to dry on the back of his tow truck.
And that's Kirby.
Yeah. And it's like, no, it's fine. Like, Kirby's death is fine, but if Darcy were to die, we'd definitely take you in.
And my thing is, he comes up behind Austin. So Lachlan Monroe, his FBI agent self, comes up near the end of the movie. Yeah, this is like the last 3-4 minutes.
You were a good cop, man.
He puts the gun to his head, and he's like, "You're going to arrest me?" And Lachlan's like, "No, I got no evidence on you. It seems like all the townspeople kind of like you." And I sat there for a minute, and I went, "No evidence? Okay. Let's just start with the fact that Austin didn't wear gloves the entire movie. Fingerprints everywhere, all over everything. Let's just say that any number of these establishments that he went into to take down these guys, you don't think any of them had any kind of security cameras?
No,
because
they're being run by...
Right?
By criminals.
I get that there's no witnesses, but evidence and witnesses are two different things.
Turns out that this gun shot that guy, and it has your fingerprints on it.
Nobody's pressing charges. Why? Because they're all dead. Well, murdered people can't press charges, I guess.
Turns out, who's going to bring me in? Are you going to bring me in, sir? Turns out, no.
Your fist print in Danny Trejo's face might be, it matches. Look at that. The bruise marks all over Danny. The DNA evidence from the hair off the back of your hand when you remove the duct tape after the beating.
Right. The blood.
Any number of things. Oh, this is a fantastic FBI agent. Yeah, we're just going to let you go. We were initially looking for you because you crushed the trachea of some guy, then chokeslammed him off the side of a mountain. But
no evidence.
The other 30 guys you killed here, we feel that you did enough of a good service that we're just going to let you go.
But he says, he's like, you were a good cop. And I understand that you only go after, the bad guys. And that's when he says, but just remember, somebody like Darcy might get hurt. I'm like, okay.
So, I think maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I guess there are laws against vigilantism.
Yeah.
I think
you can't
that's
take
not
the
the
law
word.
into your own hands. Yeah, but there's laws against vigilantism.
Yeah, being a vigilante, which is specifically what Lachlan Monroe should have arrested him for.
Right.
All the state troopers, the local police, and he's the one FBI agent that stuck around, by the way. There's no other FBI agents, even though he spent the beginning of the movie talking to an entire room full of people about, we got to find this guy. And then Lachlan's the only one that shows up.
Well, they were supposed to find this one guy, but then he died, and they're like, oh, it must have been the vigilante. Do you think it's our vigilante?
Okay, so that's right. They were looking for the guy that got chokeslammed off the side of the mountain.
Stop looking for him. We found him. He's dead.
You don't have to look for him anymore.
You got chokeslammed.
Worst fucking
Stone Cold
chokeslam
Steve
ever.
Austin.
And I was really, really hoping that there wouldn't even be one wrestling move this entire movie. But there was very, very blatantly a body slam in the middle of the movie. Where he body slammed one of the bikers on top of the pool table. Mm-hmm. And of course, you have the choke slam off the side of the mountain. And I was just waiting. He had one free arm. He could have twisted around and just gave Trejo the stunner. Would have made the movie far more interesting, to be honest.
There was one point, the first biker that he comes into contact with, who's getting ready to shoot a dog because the dog's looking at him. And he's like, what, are you making fun of my bike? Got some of the insecurities, guy. If you're about to shoot a dog over them making fun of your bike.
Right, the actor, that this guy was solely known as the Prospect the entire movie.
Yeah. And he ends up, pretty much punching him in the face, taking his gun, fighting him for a few seconds, giving the gun back without the clip in it.
Right.
The guy attempts to shoot him. That doesn't work out. He shows him that he doesn't have the clip, hits him in the head with the clip, and then friggin' slams him down on the ground, grabs the gun, and puts the clip in with it to his head. I could do this to you at any point. I could murder you.
So he didn't take the gun away from the guy. He grabbed the guy with the gun still in his hand, pinned him to the ground, twisted his arm around, put the clip back in, and with this guy's gun, the finger still on the trigger of the gun, he's sitting there with his. He's got his finger in there too. Yeah. It's like, come on, we'll press this, and you won't have any problems anymore. Yeah, no more issues with puppies. You don't have to worry about playing kick the dog anymore because you're insecure about your bike.
Don't have to worry about me. I could kill you.
Right.
It's funny, at the beginning, it's like you don't even want to hate. You don't even want to hate Danny Trejo. I feel like he was gonna be a sub character, and said Rex would have had been the real bad guy behind the scenes.
Well, that's what I thought initially.
Because that's why he was go watch him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Keep an eye on him. My brother's doing some shady shit. No, he lets him go. He's he it seemed to be almost too kind. Yeah, he beat the shit out of the guy who owed him $15,000, but that's $15,000, and he's like, so what do you want us to do? He goes, no, he paid his debt. Right. His debt's all paid. And then you have the other guy.
The other guy?
Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's making jokes hey, if you want, I'll stay right. He's like, well, you and me will handle this later. And he's like, oh, Like,
so how's this going to work? You're going to text me, or you just want me to wait here all day?
yeah, like, I'll wait right here. And he's
It's one of my favorite lines in the movie, by the way.
And he laughs a little bit, and then they go, what do you want us to do about him? And he's like, nah, he's fine. You know what I mean? Like, kind of...
Well, mind you, this is the difference between the... Oh, wow. Okay, that was a fucking big-ass stutter. Okay. I'm not trying to do any scat singing over here, but...
Skibbity bop.
So, that is the big difference between the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie. So, at the beginning of the movie, Trejo, Drake, had complete control over his entire situation.
Yeah.
Alright, so he ran everything. As things went on, his brother gets killed, his main guy, his sergeant, gets the crap beaten out of him. And as things go on, he's slowly losing control of the whole situation. He becomes more aggressive. He becomes like that guard dog that gets pinned in the corner. He's going to come out and he's going to come at you.
Right.
And he's going to fight teeth bared until he's either dead or you're dead. So, I believe that was an appropriate reaction throughout the movie. He might have been a little bit more kind to begin with. Did not end that way.
Yeah, but they kind of wanted to like pin him to be the bad guy.
Right.
Like the fact that he did kill his wife and his kid. And everybody at that cookout, the birthday party.
Thing is, they didn't really even give motive either to that whole slaughter, that whole execution. They didn't give motive.
He gives motive. a little thing. He's like, yeah, we were going after this gang, and like we were putting them away, but like they arrested some people.
But they arrested some other minor club, like a local.
That was
club.
part of the 10 rings or whatever the hell they were called.
The circle.
The circle.
The 10 rings?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm thinking.
It's like the fucking Olympics here?
There's a new Marvel movie coming out.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
origin of the 10 rings.
No clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're going to have to
You're going to have to explain that one to me a little later.
We're not here for that. No, so it's, so yeah, like, he's supposed to be this all-around bad guy.
He doesn't come off that way to start off with.
At all.
He becomes that bad guy near... I want to say around the time that his brother dies, he starts going off the rails. Mm-hmm. And he solidifies that badass guy act with the death of the mechanic. Mm-hmm. They string it, they kill him, garrote him, they killed him, basically, garroted him, and then hung him up from his own tow truck.
Mm-hmm. For everybody to see.
Right.
And everybody's pussies. And they're just like...
No, turn away, don't do anything.
There's but 6 people in this town, mind you. There's the sheriff, his son, the motel keeper, the guy in the gas station.
Right.
And that's it, the mechanic.
You don't see a lot of people, it's not really busy.
So, like, nobody else is, like, afraid or lives there.
Well, the most people you see in the entire movie is that biker bar. And if they're all pretty much part of the gang, yeah. So, they've run all the locals out. They kind of control everything outside of that small handful.
They wouldn't even let people leave. They killed Darcy's husband.
Right.
Who tried to leave.
Well, I'm just saying.
Supposedly killed him.
You don't see anybody there. You think maybe they killed everybody?
Maybe. It's just like
90% of the town's dead. You want to leave? Bam. You want to leave? Bam.
We need 6 people to tell outsiders that this isn't a gang town.
Some horrendous mass grave on the edge of town, where all the locals. We're just going to have to throw them over here. We don't have any space in the church anymore.
Not anymore.
And they're starting to stink, so we got to bury them somewhere.
Yeah, like it's all in all, not the greatest movie in the world.
I think I find talking about the movie a little bit more entertaining than watching it.
Yeah.
I've seen a few Austin flicks that I really like, a lot of Danny Trejo flicks that I really liked, and this was just not one of them.
Yeah, it was bottom of the barrel.
So to end talking about this shit fest, for lack of a better term, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this maybe a 2.2.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 3. Solid 3.
Solid 3. I didn't quite get to 2.5 for me in my head.
It's just because they have those there were certain moves in this movie that I was a fan of.
There's some...
there wasn't over battles. You know what I mean? He gets stabbed at one point.
I want to say 90% of the fighting felt fairly realistic. That one scene, where he gets stabbed, it was
more realistic than wrestling.
So we're not going to shit on wrestling fans here.
I'm not
More realistic than wrestling. Those guys get pretty damn fucked up. And, given that the WWE is a cleansed version of other, federations, they're not ECW or WCW as they used to be. There's no blood anymore. It's all PG and
right.
And they make sure that you know where your falls are going to be. They make sure that it's pretty predictable. However, if you go to AEW, if you guys didn't know, Chris was a wrestling fan. Just a little. A very big wrestling fan. I got a guy at work that I know wrestling. This guy knows, everything. He could be a commentator.
Yeah.
He's got the whole Rolodex in his head. He's watching the G1 tournament right now. He's watching AEW. He knows about New Japan Wrestling. And he's talking to me about this stuff. Did you see this? Did you see this? No, I did not. I didn't see any of that.
How to get a man mad. Make fun of wrestling.
Yeah.
How to get Chris mad.
Oh, I'm not angry. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. I am well aware that basically wrestling is a male soap opera. However, lately WWE has taken the soap part out of it, and now it's just
opera.
I don't know. There's no storyline anymore. There's nothing that you can really follow or get invested in. That's why I haven't been watching much lately. So I was excited about the AEW thing coming around because at least they make me excited to watch wrestling again. Not so much the WWE stuff.
He's so upset, guys. He's trying to figure out a way to say this without just shitting on wrestling.
You can't. I can't. I try, and
Wrestling's
no matter
not
how
fake.
it comes out, it's not fake. It's not fake, man. Stop.
Which in no way, shape, or form was I really shitting on wrestling. He just took it that way.
No, I apparently take a lot of things that you say and misunderstand them. We'll get to that at a different time, though.
That we will.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a quick little downturn so we can let our sponsors have a word, or let us have a word for our sponsors, and we'll get right back with something. I don't know what. We'll see. You have any idea? Entertainment. Okay. All right, well, thank you for not turning us off the second the sponsors hit the ground. And I appreciate you sticking with us. We are going to do a little bit more trivia to end this podcast for the day. Mainly because we don't have the other two parts of our little group that are usually required to do the whole pitch fest.
Pitch storm.
You got to sing everything, right? You sang the pod coin thing. You sang the pitch storm thing.
Everything needs a jingle.
Well, depends on what you're jingling at them.
Cinematic Anarchy.
All right, so I'm going to let you go ahead and start, please, for the love of God.
What black comedy involves the botched kidnapping, a desperate car salesman, and a wood chipper?
Oh, Repo Man? No, what?
Fargo.
Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. I kind of dove at that a little too quickly. Who performed the song Blame Canada from the South Park movie Bigger, Longer, and Uncut in 2000? Oh, at the 2000 Academy Awards.
Who performed Blame Canada I have no idea who played it, but Cartman?
No. Oh, I didn't know this. So, Robin Williams.
Really?
Tell me that there's something I gotta Google. I gotta go find that on YouTube or something. Robin Williams singing Blame Canada from South Park.
That will be looked up very soon.
Like the second we're done this, I'm gonna go and take a look at that.
If we remember.
Okay.
Now name the team comedy in which a geek declares, "I'm not really a farmer, I'm a freshman."
Oh, shit. I know this movie, too. I think we talked about this the last time. Fuck. Yeah, you got to give that one to me.
16 Candles.
16 Candles. Ah, shit. And that's Anthony Michael Hall, too. The classic geek from the 80s who went on to be not so much a geek.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any recent or older pictures of.
Oh, he stopped that whole geekdom thing the second he did Johnny Be Good alongside with Robert Downey Jr.
What
Look
was
that
his
movie
name?
up. Anthony Michael Hall. Just look up Johnny Be Good, the movie. It was a pretty decent film. I think it was him, Uma Thurman, and Robert Downey Jr.
Okay, now that I see him older.
But yeah, he was pretty well built. He got rid of that whole geek thing real quick. He was playing a football star in there.
At least wasn't screen written.
Right? Okay. In 1985's Back to the Future, what year does Marty McFly travel back to?
1965.
First travel back to. Oh, you know what? Now, we already did this one, but you're wrong. You're close, but you're wrong.
55.
55. Yes, right on the nose.
What adaptation was not based on a comic book? Doom, V for Vendetta, or Ghost World?
Which one was not based on a comic book? Doom.
Yes.
That was based on a video game.
Did you already get that one? Because this is exactly what it says.
No. I have not gotten that one previously. I sat up all night and studied these. No,
I bet.
What 1984 adventure flick features a romance novelist named Joan Wilder, a soldier of fortune named Jack T. Colton, and a pursuing villain named Ralph?
Rat Race?
No, but this is one of those movies that I want to watch. I think this kind of lists with the bad movies there. A lot of people think this is groan-worthy. It's Romancing the Stone. I believe that's Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas, and the villain, obviously, I believe was played by Danny DeVito, if I'm not mistaken.
Danny DeVito as a villain is always a good thing. What animated duo encountered the wrong trousers and survived a close shave and Oscar-winning short film before tackling Where's Rabbits and their full-length feature?
That is Wallace and Gromit.
Wallace and Gromit.
Have you seen them?
Yes.
Yes,
definitely.
definitely.
But reading it, I was confusing myself. But now that I've
trousers on, these are not the right trousers.
Where Rabbit? Okay. Now that I went through it, now that I know what it is, I've seen all of them.
Ben Stiller is a rabbi, Edward Norton is a priest, and Jenna Elfman is the woman they both love. Name the movie.
Something about Polly.
I figured you would have watched this at the very least. It being faith-based movie, it's keeping the faith.
No,
not at all.
No,
it's not one of the.
Sound familiar.
Wonder if it was a rated R faith-based movie, maybe not
Probably.
one of the ones your mom would have let you watch.
My mom wouldn't have watched.
Your family's all like, no, this one's rated R. I know it's got a priest in it. We're not watching this, though. It's got a rabbi, too.
It's got a priest and a rabbi. They said they walk into a bar. Sounds like a bad start of a joke.
Pretty much. Priest and a rabbi walk into a bar. That guy over there, he ducked. Anyway.
Name the movie in which an aunt tells her nephew Peter, "You can do too much, college, a job, all the time with me. You're not Superman, you know."
Oh, this is Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Aunt May?
Yeah.
You're not Superman, you know. That's a fucking stupid
fucking
line to throw out in the middle of Spider-Man.
Because I'm Spider-Man. I'm Spider-Man.
Pretty close. Just a few extra letters.
Spider-Man.
And what 1990 movie has an undercover detective named John Kimball declaring, "It's not a tumor"? No? Silence? Dead silence? Can't picture Arnie doing that?
I can picture him doing that, but I can't picture what...
Kindergarten Cop?
Maybe you've got a tumor.
That.
It's not a tumor!
It's not a tumor!
You got this all wrong!
Maybe it's a tumor.
Get these rugrats away from me.
What is the weapon of choice used by the killer that Michael Douglas is trying to track down in Basic Instinct?
The weapon of choice is an ice pick.
The ice pick.
That is my final answer.
An ice pick is the correct answer, my friend.
Can you name the person he was tracking down? Or the actress, anyway, that he was tracking down?
No.
That was the infamous Sharon Stone movie. The infamous scene, the crossing and uncrossing the legs in the middle of the scene to distract the guys that are interrogating her. What veteran actors play Ben Stiller's parents in 2004's sequel, Meet the Fockers?
Can't tell you their names.
I can picture them all day long. Yeah. I know who they are.
It's a goofy guy.
Goofy guy. No. Well, yeah. But, I mean, he wasn't always a goofy guy. Probably one of the...
I'm trying to think of another movie that he's been in, too. I don't know their names.
Rain Man.
Still can't think of their names.
Dustin Hoffman. And the mother was Barbara Streisand.
Barbara Streisand.
Fantastic role for both
If it's yellow, keep it mellow. Brown, flush it down.
Because it's, like, so far from what they normally do, you know? Okay, what you got there?
What actress/writer penned the 1990 Meryl Streep comedy Postcards from the Edge?
Sally Field?
No.
No. Oh, ooh.
What actress/writer penned the 1990 Meryl Streep comedy Postcards from the Edge? I didn't know she did anything like this.
I have no idea, so go ahead.
Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher. Actress/writer. Yeah, okay, I got it. I'm picturing it now. I didn't know that was her.
Yeah, either.
It's also been a dog's age since I've seen Postcards from the Edge. What songwriting legend won an Oscar for the song Things Have Changed from the movie Wonder Boys?
Ruben Studdard.
No, but I don't even know why I bothered asking you this question. I didn't even know the answer to it. I do now, because I'm looking at the back of the card, but I had no fucking clue. Bob Dylan?
Oh, okay. Wouldn't have known that.
Yeah. I mean, I can picture the song in my head now, but...
Who directed the Clint Eastwood spaghetti western, A Fistful of Dollars for a Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
Who directed it? Clint Eastwood?
No.
No, I have no idea.
Sergio Leone.
Wow. Still don't have any idea. No clue. Thank you, but I appreciate that. See, this is the thing, is that I know some things. There are few things that I wish I knew more about. I know now Sergio Leone?
Yeah.
Okay, Sergio Leone. I have to say that 5 more times.
Sergio Leone.
Like it's Beetlejuice. Sergio. Douglas Adams wrote the book and co-wrote the screenplay for what 2005 movie?
Repeat question.
Douglas Adams wrote the book and co-wrote the screenplay that was that what 2005 movie was based on?
Friggin'...
Come
the
on.
one that's involving Fenway Park.
That's a whole lot of quiet there. For
yeah, because I don't know.
Do you not know who Douglas Adams is?
No.
Here's a hint.
Forget about it. Hitchhikers. Guide to the Galaxy.
There you go. There we go. I just put the thumb up and then move the thumb a little bit. Okay, there we go. Your turn.
Who produced, starred in, and sang the theme song for the 1979 movie The Main Event?
That would be Barbara Streisand.
That it would be.
A lot of Barbara fucking questions in this deck
Barbara
today.
Streisand.
Barbara this, Barbara that.
All right. What classic spookfest features a height-challenged clairvoyant, a television set, and a clown doll with murderous intentions?
Chucky.
Clown doll with murderous intentions.
Poltergeist?
There you go.
The Poltergeist was my first one, but I was like, is that little...
See, I gotta tell you, go with your gut instincts.
Is that little bitch in Chucky? Must be Chucky. Clown dolls.
We've both got ample guts. If you have a gut instinct, go with it.
The third installment of what movie series was subtitled Tokyo Drift?
Fast and the Furious?
Correct, sir.
I could've... I don't know why I went that way. That's just... Oh, I did not intend to offend anybody. Okay, I'm good. What 2006 movie asked, what if you had a universal remote that controlled your universe?
Click.
Ding, 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 ding.
I got one. You guys heard that? I got one. Not many. One.
All right. You got it.
What is the name of the real-life character that Julia Roberts won the 2001 Oscar for portraying?
That would be Erin Brockovich.
Correct.
Erin Brockovich. Another movie it's been a while since I've watched. For good reason. What frosty 1992 comedy has Kate Mosley baiting Doug Dorsey with the two-word taunt toe pick?
I don't know.
Oh my god. Yeah, I know this one too. It's like you read something and you don't have a clue about what's going on. The second you read the answer, it's like, oh, now I can see it. Toe pick! Toe pick! The Cutting Edge. Have you ever seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
It's about a figure skater who loses her partner, and she basically has to deal with down on his luck an ice hockey player as the replacement.
I might have actually seen this.
And she's yelling at him, toe pick, the entire time, because that's how you're supposed to stop. Toe pick.
No.
Toe pick!
What futuristic movie stars Arnold Schwarzenegger as a wrongly convicted man who must survive a deadly statistic game show?
Oh, that would be The Running Man. If you hadn't said game show, that could have gone another way. There's this Total Recall as well, but...
Yeah, but...
Yeah, you said game show, so...
I'm reading the card.
You could have changed a few words around there, you know?
No, that's cheating.
Cheating? We don't cheat here. I don't read all these cards before you ask me questions.
I already know he does.
Alright, so what classic comedy features a food fight, a toga party, and double secret probation?
Animal House.
I think we've read this card before.
No one I know anyways.
Okay.
2.
Oh, now I know we've read this card. I think the first time we did trivia. One of the first times we did trivia with these cards. This is the movies that we went through.
No, I went through those.
Okay,
I don't think I've gone through those.
All right, so I'll put this away here. I got a dead stack. Your turn though.
Who directed the Steve Martin hits The Jerk, The Man with Two Brains, and All of Me?
See, I keep thinking of self-directed movies, but I don't want to say that's what happened. But let's say Steve Martin. It's not Steve Martin, but
It's not. Carl Reiner.
Carl Reiner. Carl Reiner. I like Carl Reiner too. Carl Reiner's done a lot of good movies. He's right up there with those 70s actors that fell into directing really well. You know, Opie, he does a lot of really good movies. Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Carl Reiner, where he's from. All in the Family. He was Archie Bunker's son-in-law or something. Okay. Big lug. Alright. Helen Fielding wrote the novel and co-wrote the screenplay for what 2001 comedy? Sorry.
Can you repeat the question? Because I don't know the answer.
Helen Fielding wrote the novel and co-wrote the screenplay for what 2001 comedy? If you don't know the answer, how is it going to help that I read the question again?
It's prolonging my inevitable defeat.
The inevitability of your defeat, sir. Lay down your sword!
It's just a flesh wound. You tell me.
Your arm's off. It's not a flesh wound. It's the Bridget Jones. Yeah. See, you got me doing it now.
Bridget Jones's Diary.
Jones Diary. Bridget Jones's Diary.
I've never known that. Name the Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan Saturday Night Live spin-off movie with the tagline Score.
Say that again?
Name the Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan Saturday Night Live spin-off movie with the tagline Score.
Chris Kattan. Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan. Did they do a movie together?
I guess so.
Oh, Score! A Night at the Roxbury.
Yes.
I was trying to think, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm trying to picture Chris Kattan, and he didn't do a lot of really good movies after he left SNL. Like, he's one of those guys. There's several of his movies on our list. They are just so bad.
He said it, not me.
I mean it.
Pointing fingers.
Yeah. One big finger right there, right up the middle. Anyway, in what movie does a wealthy man announce to his son's kidnappers, "Congratulations, you just became a $2 million lottery ticket," as he offers a bounty on national television?
Not Rush Hour. No, I have no idea.
Ransom. Yep, Ransom.
With,
I believe that was Mel Gibson, if I'm not mistaken.
yes.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, I believe that is exactly what
It's
we're
been a very
talking
long
about.
time since I've seen that.
I can say that about a lot of movies, but I've been around longer than you have.
And then the kid pisses himself because he hears the killers in the back, like with him. What's the matter? Oh, that's the kidnapper. This guy's the worst. What futuristic movie star?
You're redoing some cards here?
Maybe.
Reading
Name the 2005 Will Smith comedy described the cure for the common cold. Describes the cure for the common cold. So what, name the 2005 Will Smith comedy described as the cure for the common man?
Cure for the common man?
Yes.
That would be Hitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
It took me a little bit
You
to
said
read
cure for
this.
the common cold twice.
Yeah, because my mind makes words up. I might be a little bit
Well,
dyslexic.
that's the saying that we're all familiar with. That's not necessarily what it's supposed to be. An unemployed couple, revenge on a crooked CEO, and a hatchback full of stolen SOD. Oh, sorry, sod. That wasn't even spelled out like that. It's just sod. I said SOD for no reason.
See what I mean?
Are three elements in what Jim Carrey comedy?
You didn't even have to say Jim Carrey. Fun with Dick and Jane?
Yes, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we can go look that up in a few minutes, but that is a remake. So this was actually a remake of like a old movie.
Yeah.
Like a 50s movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It could be even earlier. But Fun with Dick and Jane, that was a good one too. I really enjoyed that movie. I believe that was Alec. Was that Alec Baldwin that was also in there with him? If I'm not mistaken.
A few people.
You've
I'm
zoned out over there.
I'm looking for the Fun with Dick and Jane.
You're looking for the old movie to see if that was indeed what it was.
If there were more than one.
And let me tell you, if you're going
1977.
If you're going to look up the movie Fun with Dick and Jane, make sure that you put the entire thing in there. Don't just put in Fun with Dick, because that's going to bring up something altogether different. Trust me.
Yeah, the
So what did you find?
1977 was the original Fun with Dick and Jane.
Oh, a lot earlier.
Jane Fonda, George
lot later.
Segal, Ed McMahon.
And this one was Jim Carrey, Alec Baldwin, Tia Leone. And honestly, not a lot of stuff out of Tia Leone either. I know she has that one TV show that she's doing as a Madam Secretary or something.
Oh, yeah, no, I haven't really got into that.
David Duchovny's ex-wife.
No, I know what, yes, whom and what you were talking about. It's
We
just-
know who you are. We just don't care. Anyway.
Let's see what that was.
All right, so I'm going to take a break from this real quick, and I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, just for the hell of it. What is your least favorite Jim Carrey movie ever?
What is
least
my
favorite?
least favorite Jim Carrey movie ever?
Has there ever been a movie of his that you just hated?
13. Or 23.
So bad you can't even remember the name.
Yeah,
The number 23.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that one. I should have been more specific, because obviously his ventures into dramatic acting, not all of them have turned out great. He's done a couple that were good. Like, I feel like Truman Show was more of a drama than a comedy.
I like the Truman Show.
And I liked that other one, The Majestic, that he did.
Yeah.
That was a good film. However, there was the number 23, and there's another recent one that he did that I couldn't stomach.
13.
No, it wasn't the number 23. It was a recent film that he did that I couldn't really wrap my mind around. And I like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind was pretty good too. He did Dark Crimes. That was 2016 Dark Crimes was supposed to be pretty bad.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
I'm actually excited to watch that. I saw his Dr. Robotnik, like that end view of Dr. Robotnik, and I thought that was like spot on. Unlike a lot of people who are complaining about Sonic's eyes not looking right. Well, fuck that. It's a live-action animated movie. All right, we could put it back to looking like a cartoon, but then we're going to be in Roger Rabbit territory. You know? We're not looking for flat 2D animation. I think they did a pretty damn good job.
They did alright.
If the only thing that they could complain about was his eyes. You know?
Yeah, really, the only thing I can really look at here...
Okay.
It's...
So of his comedies, which one did you hate? Is there anything that you hated?
I guess him being in the Incredible Burt Wonderstein.
Okay, yeah, that was a
Wonderstone.
pretty... That was a... Wonderstone. The Incredible Burt Wonderstone. Yeah, that was a pretty damn bad movie. That was right up there with some of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was not a fan.
I mean, I liked him in a lot of films. There's a couple that I was not a fan of. And not all of his movies were terribly, all of his dramatic movies were bad. Obviously, he had a lot of good dramatic roles. It's just the number 23 going into horror. It didn't fit.
Wasn't even harder. It was just...
Well, it was supposed to be like a psychological horror kind of film.
Yeah, I mean...
Which did not play well, but...
The 23 is, like, you could make it into a million things.
I want to say my least favorite was the second Ace Ventura movie. Of his comedies. Of his comedies, the second Ace Ventura movie, I think, just sucked.
That's my favorite one. I like that one better than the first.
Okay, now you shut your mouth.
No.
You like that better than the first one?
Yeah, that was so
Really?
much more comedic. The White Devil, friggin' everything. He's terrified of bats. Ace Ventura, who loves every animal in the world, is terrified of an animal. He has to run through the jungle with the animal.
I didn't know he was in Deadpool.
Jim Carrey?
Yeah, he's in Deadpool.
No.
Played Johnny Squares. Sorry, my apology. He was in The Deadpool, not in Deadpool. A movie called The Deadpool.
Yeah.
I believe that's actually an old Clint Eastwood flick. I'm having trouble with the
speaking.
The speaking and the control of the tongue that flaps within my mouth. Yeah, I'm having a little trouble with that today. I had a little trouble with that the last time, too. I speak a little too quickly for my own good. I think one of my favorites of his was Earth Girls Are Easy.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's this whole line where they all come out of the spaceship, so she brings them into the house, and they decide to give them all a makeover, and you have three guys. I believe I can't remember the third guy, but they're played by Damon Wayans, Jim Carrey, and I'm trying to remember who the third guy is. Oh, Jeff Goldblum. Sorry, my apologies. Jeff Goldblum was the blue alien. So she shaves them all down, like gives them because they're furry when they come out. Shaves them all down from head to toe, and they each step out. And the first thing that Jim Carrey says upon stepping out for the first time, waxed from head to toe, is, "Oh my God, he's totally black!" Insinuating that she just shaved down Damon Wayans, and it's like, okay, well, Damon Wayans is black in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, he always has been, hasn't he?
Maybe not.
I'm not sure.
I liked with David Wayne, though. I like a lot of the stuff that he's in. Bulletproof, one of them, but Major Pain.
Have you gotten to see The Last Boy Scout?
No, I have not.
Him and Bruce Willis. Fantastic.
I think that's
movie.
what we were thinking about doing today.
No, I think that initially we were looking into The Last Stand, which was the older Bruce Willis kind of mafioso flick, old school mafioso.
Old school.
Back in like Bonnie and Clyde kind of mafioso. I like Damon Wayans for a lot of stuff. Again, another guy that's done plenty of good and plenty of bad.
Yeah.
There's some movies that I really can't stand. There's some movies that I absolutely loved.
Can't think of anything that I just couldn't stand. I mean, I started watching him when he was on whatever that TV show was that I'm drawing a blank on.
In Living Color.
No.
No? You didn't start watching him on In Living Color?
No.
What did...
Okay. I got into In Living Color later on in life.
All right. So, let's see. He was in Wife and Kids?
Wife and Kids.
Wife and Kids, okay. So that was the one that you started watching him on?
Yeah, that's how I started... watching him, and then...
Oh, that just popped in my head. There's another movie that I couldn't stand. Mr. Popper's Penguins.
Mr. Popper's Penguins.
With Jim Carrey.
It's kind of like... what was Cuba Gooding Jr.'s movie?
Marsha X will be probably the first Damon Wayans movie you go, oh my god, really?
Marsha X?
Marsha X. That's one of the DVDs we picked up the other day while we were at Bull Moose over in Salem.
Oh, yeah?
It stars him and Lisa Kudrow. Yeah,
I don't think I have it.
Yeah, you'll see. I'm not going to get into it. I don't want to give anything away, but you'll understand why I really
despise it.
Despise? That's a nice word for it. Despise, okay. That's a nice word.
Did you watch any new movies or anything like that?
Did I watch any new movies lately? No, honestly, I really did not get into the movies all that much this week. I haven't had the time. Planning on the wife's birthday coming up, and all my planning is going into that and trying to figure out why my car is sounding like scraped metal every time I drive it.
Yeah, that's not good. I watched Hellboy and Men in Black. Men in Black was pretty good, kind of predictable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Hellboy sucked.
Okay, I'll give you that too. So predictable and sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly can't think of anything that I've watched recently, which sucks. I mean, I'm the movie guy. I love watching movies. I got a massive list of things that I've watched since the beginning of the year, but summertime is always a slow movie roll for me because I do too much outdoors. So the winter in Mass, it provides plenty of time to sit around, watch movies. You don't want to go outside. You don't want to get frostbite on your nuts. You know, you want to stay in, keep everything nice and warm.
And up here in New England, it's ridiculous. I don't know if you listeners are from here, but we just had a 110-degree day the other day, and we've had negative degree weather in the winter.
Right, which makes me wonder if we're going to have a nice cold, heavy snowfall this year. I'm hoping not. I don't like digging. I don't like shoveling, and where I am, I got to do plenty of both. Digging, shoveling, breaking my back, going upstairs, and falling down on my bed. You mind taking off your boots and all your snow gear before you lay on the bed, hon? No, I'm just going to lay here. I don't have the energy. You can't have it both ways. Shovel the lawn and keep the bedding from being soaked through. I'm sorry.
Shovel the lawn?
Shovel the lawn, yeah.
Shovel the lawn.
It's not shovel the lawn. It's shovel the driveway, shovel the sidewalk. We don't shovel the lawn. We're not supposed to. You can dig up the grass. Yeah, so seeing as my brain is once again checked out, and it's usually my brain that checks out that makes us go.
Mine's checking out as well.
Thank you for taking the time to sit down and listen to us ramble on about things that don't deserve to be rambled on about.
Everything deserves to be rambled on about.
No, you know full well that that's not true. We have one movie that we can keep in mind that we know does not need to be rambled on about. One movie.
We're going to ramble on about it one of these days.
We will, someday. Someday we will ramble on, and you'll know what we're talking about.
We just got to let the guy know.
Just let him know, hey, by the way, sir, you asked me to review your movie? Yes. I want you to know that I'm going to go ahead and take a good half hour to sit down and take a large steaming Duke right on top of your movie.
After a night of drinking and tacos.
Right? Please mind the corn. All
Gross.
Right. Yeah, just a little. Okay.